Welcome to the 2018 midterm Senate elections. Today, after the long months of campaigning, the election is finally here to see who will be controlling Congress, the Democrats or the Republicans. Here are the current maps. Here it is 51 Republicans, 47 Democrats, and 2 independents caucusing with the Democrats in the United States Senate. In the United States governor's map, 33 Republican governors, 16 Democratic governors, and 1 independent governor. Here's a 7 p.m. poll closing. Virginia Senator Tim Kaine has been re-elected to the Virginia Senate. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders has now been re-elected to the Vermont Senate. Indiana Senate Joe Donnelly is tied with Mike Braun in his re-election seat. Georgia, Brian Kemp, now elected as Republican Governor of Georgia. South Carolina, Henry McMaster has been re-elected as Governor. Vermont, Phil Scott has been re-elected as Governor. Here's the Senate map, 24 Democrats, it should say 42 Republicans, we apologize about that, and 1 independent. Out of the Governor map, 10 Republicans, 7 Democrats, and 0 independents. Here's a 7:30 p.m. poll closing. Ohio Senate Sherrod Brown is trying to get re-elected. He is currently behind the state representative Jim Renacci. This is a Democratic seat. West Virginia, Joe Manchin ahead of Patrick Morrisey. This is a Democratic seat he is trying to hold on to. Mike DeWine trying to replace John Kasich. Trying to replace John Kasich and hold this as a Republican seat. Currently ahead of Richard Cordray. And here is the current Senate map. No changes except for West Virginia and Ohio being filled in as too close to call. 24 Democrats, 42 Republicans, and 1 independent. Same with the governor map. Only Ohio being filled in as too close to call. 10 Republicans, 7 Democrats, 0 independents. Here's an 8 p.m. poll closing. Pennsylvania's Bob Casey Jr. has been re-elected. Defeats Lou Barletta in the Senate race. Massachusetts, Elizabeth Warren has been re-elected to the United States Senate. Maryland, Ben Cardin has been re-elected to the Maryland Senate. Connecticut, Chris Murphy, re-elected to the Senate. Delaware, Tom Carper, re-elected to the Delaware Senate. West Virginia, Joe Manchin has now been re-elected. We now get a call from Maine. Angus King, the independent caucusing with the Democrats. He will be re-elected to the Maine Senate. Mississippi, Roger Wicker has now been re-elected as Mississippi Senator. And Cindy HYDE-SMITH wins the Mississippi special election and now wins in Mississippi. Tennessee, Phil Bredesen, just barely ahead of Marsha Blackburn in this Republican seat, trying to replace Bob Corker. Phil Bredesen has a slim lead against Marsha Blackburn. Missouri, Josh Hawley and Claire McCaskill fighting this seat. Claire McCaskill, the incumbent, behind Josh Hawley right now. And in the Florida Senate, Bill Nelson, the incumbent, behind the current incumbent Governor Rick Scott in this Florida Senate race. Alabama governor race, Kay Ivey has been re-elected as governor. Tennessee, Bill Lee has been elected as governor, replacing Bill Haslam as Republican governor of Tennessee. New Hampshire, Chris Sununu, now re-elected as New Hampshire governor. Maine, Sean Moody, now elected as Maine governor. Massachusetts, the most popular governor, Charlie Baker, has now been re-elected Massachusetts. Larry Hogan, now re-elected as Maryland's governor. Illinois, this is the first gain tonight for the Democrats. J.B. Pritzker has been elected as Illinois governor. Tom Wolf, Pennsylvania's governor, has now been re-elected. Connecticut's Ned Lamont has been elected to the Connecticut Senate. Rhode Island, Gina Raimondo has now been re-elected as Rhode Island governor. Florida Governor Andrew Gillum and Ron DeSantis trying to replace Rick Scott here. Rick Scott running for the Senate race. We are watching that race closely. Ron DeSantis trying to keep this Republican seat. but he is currently behind the challenger Andrew Gilliam, but not by much. Here's the current Senate map. 43 Republicans. We apologize about it. It should say 44. 31 Democrats and 2 independents caucusing with the Democrats. Here's the current governor's map. 11 Democrats, 16 Republicans, and 0 independents. Here's the 8:30 p.m. poll closing out of the state of Arkansas. Arkansas governor has now gone to Asa Hutchinson, has been reelected. Ohio, we can now project that Mike DeWine will now be the projected winner of the Ohio, will be elected as Ohio governor, replacing John Kasich. Here's the current Senate map. 31 Democrats, 43 Republicans, and 2 independents. In the governor map, 11 Democrats, 18 Republicans, and 0 independents. Here's the 9 o'clock p.m. poll closing. Nebraska, DEB Fischer has been re-elected as Nebraska Senator. Wyoming Senate John Barrasso now re-elected as Wyoming Senator. Missouri Senator Josh Hawley has now been elected. He defeats the incumbent Claire McCaskill in a gain for the Republicans. Martin Heinrich now re-elected as New Mexico Senator. New York, KIRSTEN GILLIBRAND now re-elected as New York Senator. Minnesota, Amy Klobuchar has now been re-elected as Minnesota Senator. In the Minnesota special election, replacing Al Franken, Tina Smith now wins the Democratic Senate race. Michigan, the Senate now, Debbie Stabenow now is re-elected as Michigan Senator. North Dakota, HYDE-SMITH and Kevin CRAMER in a tight race. HYDE-SMITH has been trailing this campaign season all along, and now trails Kevin CRAMER in this North Dakota Senate race. Texas governor, we apologize about Texas being covered up a little bit. Greg Abbott has been re-elected as Republican governor of the state of Texas. Kansas, KOBACH has now been elected governor of Kansas. Nebraska, Pete Ricketts been re-elected as Nebraska governor. South Dakota, Kristi Noem now elected South Dakota governor. Mark Gordon now re-elected as Wyoming governor. Doug Ducey re-elected as Arizona governor. New York, Andrew Cuomo now re-elected as the New York governor. And a gain out of Wisconsin, Tony Evers beats the incumbent Scott Walker in this Wisconsin governor race. And a gain for the Democrats. I apologize about that. Michigan governor Gretchen Whitmer has now been elected Michigan governor. This is a gain for the Democrats. New York governor Michelle Lujan has been elected New Mexico governor. Florida, we can now project that Andrew Gilliam will take this seat and is elected governor of Florida, gaining the seat for the Democrats. Colorado, Jared Polis replacing John Hickenlooper as Colorado governor. Minnesota, Tim Walz is now projected Minnesota governor. Here's the Senate map. 47 Republicans, 36 Democrats, and 2 independents caucusing with the Democrats. Here's the current Republican, the current governor map. 25 Republican governors, 18 Democratic governors, and 0 independents. The Republicans only need one more seat to take back the National Governors Association. Here's the 10 o'clock p.m. poll closing. Nevada Senate Jackie Rosen defeats the incumbent Dean Heller, one of the most unpopular senators. Jackie Rosen now defeats the incumbent Dean Heller in this Nevada Senate race, takes it for the Democrats. We can now project New Jersey, Bob Menendez. We apologize about not showing his too close to call. New Jersey, Bob Menendez will now be re-elected as New Jersey Senator. Ohio, Sherrod Brown now re-elected as Ohio Senator. Utah, Mitt Romney elected as Republican Senator, replacing Orrin Hatch. Iowa, Kim Reynolds now elected as Republican Governor of the state of Iowa. Nevada, Steve Sisolak is now elected and again for the Democrats in the Nevada governor. Here's the current Senate map: 48 Republicans, 39 Democrats, 2 independents caucusing with the Democrats. And here is the current governor map: 26 Republicans, 19 Democrats, and 0 independents. Which means that the Republicans will take the majority in the National Governors Association and will win back the National Governors Association. Here's an 11 o'clock p.m. poll closing. California, Kevin DeLoyne now defeats the incumbent Dianne Feinstein. Kevin DeLoyne now elected to the California Senate. Washington, Maria Cantwell now elected to this, re-elected as Washington Senator. Hawaii, Mazie Hirono now re-elected as Hawaii Senator. Arizona, we can now project that this is a game for the Democrats. Kirsten Sinema now elected as Arizona Senator. This is a game for the Democrats, replacing Jeff Flake. Tennessee, Phil Bredesen now replacing Bob Corker. Phil Bredesen gains the seat for the Democrats. Montana, John Tester has now been re-elected. We apologize for him now as well, having a too close call. Indiana, Joe Donnelly now re-elected Indiana Senator. Idaho, Brad Little elected governor of Idaho after Butch Otter is no longer able to run. California Governor Gavin Newsom also replacing an incumbent. Gavin Newsom replacing incumbent Jerry Brown after he cannot run for re-election. Oregon, Kate Brown now re-elected to the Oregon governor. We apologize about the delay. We apologize about what just happened. Hawaii Governor David Ige has now been re-elected as Hawaii Governor. Here's the current governor map, the Senate map: 47 Democrats, 49 Republicans, and 2 independents caucusing with the Democrats. If the Democrats want to win, they would have to pick up both seats in Florida and North Dakota. We'll hold on to them. Here's the current governor map: 27 Republicans, 22 Democrats, and 0 independents. Here's the 1 a.m. poll closing. We apologize about it saying QM. And the Alaska governor, Bill Walker, now elected as independent governor. Florida Senator Bill Nelson has been re-elected. And we can now project that the Democrats will win, the Republicans will win the Senate. Because of this call right here, Kevin CRAMER will now win as North Dakota Senator. Here's the final Senate map: 50 Republicans, 48 Democrats, 2 independents caucusing with them, plus the Vice President gives them the majority. Here's the final governor map: 27 Republicans, 22 Democrats, and 1 independent. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry we haven't made a video like this in a while. It's November 5th, tomorrow's election day. Go vote. So, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.